This week, and I'm joined by Russell Conway, property lawyer and senior partner at Oliver Fisher Solicitors in Notting Hill. If you have a question about property law, and we've got lots going on already, it's 03456060973. Good evening, Russell.
Good evening, Clive.
I wanted to ask you first about a property story that's been very much in the news this week, especially for London. It's Sadiq Khan talking about some kind of rent capping. Is that something you think might work?
Well, new ideas are always very scary, aren't they? I always remember 45 years ago, a guy came to my office trying to sell me computers, and I said it would never catch on. New ideas do need to be thought about, and they need to be reflected on. I think this is a great idea. Remember, in London, we have 2 million people renting flats and homes and rooms, and it's a very big area. And remember also, 5 years ago, the average rent in London was just over £1,000 a month, and now it's just over £1,500 a month. What's it going to be in 5 years' time? Who's going to be able to afford to rent? So rent control is a really novel idea. It's a good idea. We shouldn't be scared of it. It happens in Berlin. It happens in New York. The whole system doesn't collapse. People don't withdraw their properties from the marketplace. And ultimately, we have to realise that we're a growing population. There's a housing shortage. And a lot of the rents are paid for by the government, because a lot of the people who are renting these very high-priced flats have access to housing benefits and other form of benefit. And the amount that's paid for by the government is massive. So rent control could save the government quite a lot of money, which may enable it to build more flats. It will enable more people to rent their homes. And whilst there will be a few landlords who will be spitting nails, it's a great idea.
What about those landlords, though, that maybe they've got a mortgage, buy-to-let, and if they don't charge a certain amount, they can't pay their mortgage?
A lot of buy-to-let landlords do very well indeed, and when you think about it, a flat which is getting in £1,500 a month, £2,000 a month on perhaps a mortgage which is considerably less than that is still a highly profitable piece of work. And I think London has so many problems on rentals at the moment, not just high rented flats, but also this scourge of Airbnb, which is taking a lot of flats away from people wanting to rent, that we've got to do something about it. And Sadiq Khan's come up with this idea. It's quite a sophisticated... can I help you?
Well, the problem is he's now vacated that property. Upon me exiting the property, you know, we went round, we cleaned it very thoroughly. We looked for any holes to be filled.
But what's the question, Steve?
Well, they've come after me now. We want to go to the tenant dispute agency. They've refused that. They're coming after me for this money. They're going to put me.
How much are they trying to get you to pay, Steve?
They've said £500, 500 rough figures, £530 the deposit. They want that. They want a further 50. They've estimated the claim at sort of about £1,800. They want a further £500 nothing before they start the repairs.
Tell me, Steve, when your son moved into this flat, did he have an inventory check-in report which gave the condition of the property?
Well, it was all, at that moment in time, everything was brand new. In fairness, everything was brand new, yeah.
When he moved out, was there an inventory check-out report?
Yeah, and I had to check out the report this
And what sort of condition was the property in? Because you probably got involved in that. Was it in good condition?
In my eyes, yeah, it was.
You sound a little bit hesitant, Steve, if I might say so.
Well, no, the door was how they had left the after their repairs. They're saying there's some marks on the bathroom floor. I'll go with that. I'll accept the marks on the bathroom floor.
Was it professionally cleaned, Steve? Because most tenancy agreements have a clause which says that when the tenant moves out, he has to professionally clean the property. Did you have it professionally cleaned?
No, we didn't have it professionally cleaned, but in fairness, I spent 2 days there cleaning that property. You know,
I mean, the problem is, Steve, that if there were problems, and you've highlighted one or two, the landlord has to take the hit, because when your son moves out, he has to re-let that property to somebody else. And if it's in a poor condition, broken windows, a kicked-in door and things like that, that's all something of a cost to the landlord. And it's something you need to be very cautious of when you're allowing a son to move into a property like that. Were you the guarantor of the rent, Steve?
I was guarantor for rent and costs and things.
Well, I mean, that's good for you to guarantee your son's rent. You're giving him a step up on the ladder. But ultimately, when you're a guarantor, there's always the risk that if something goes slightly wrong, and let's face it, something has gone slightly wrong, you will have to pick up the tab.
But do they have the right to ask him to pick up the tab if it's some random criminal that kicked in the door?
I would hesitate